What if you could understand a character's deepest struggles and triumphs just by looking at what they wear? In My Brilliant Friend, the wardrobes of Lila Cerullo and Elena Greco aren't just outfits. They're a visual diary of their inner battles, personal growth, and the societal expectations that shape their lives. From the modest uniforms of their childhood to the more refined styles of adulthood, their clothes tell a deeper story. In today's video, we'll explore how their costumes evolve as their friendship and identities are tested by the world around them. You'll see how Elena's wardrobe reflects her quiet determination to fit in and succeed, while Lila's bold choices reveal her refusal to be shaped by anyone's expectations. And we'll break down how something as simple as a wedding dress becomes a pivotal moment, symbolizing the changes in their relationship and their futures. Growing up in post-war Naples, Lila and Elena's wardrobes reflect their working-class background, practical and understated. Yet, even as children, their clothing reveals the differences in their personalities. Elena is often dressed in soft blues, pastels and neutral tones, reflecting her modesty and desire to conform. Her neatly kept sweaters and school uniform emphasize her focus on education and meeting her family's expectations. The structure of her school uniform is reflected in her everyday wardrobe through the presence of simple colors, reinforcing her disciplined nature and foreshadowing her future academic pursuits. This consistency in her style symbolizes her introspective personality and need for approval from those around her. In contrast, Lila's darker tones highlight her independent and defiant nature. Her clothes are practical and unembellished, reflecting her self-sufficiency. Unlike Elena, Lila's school uniform lacks the white collar, visually marking her difference and signaling her resistance to societal expectations. This absence also mirrors the neglect she faces at home, underscoring her reliance on her own strength and determination. Their wardrobes also reflect the dynamics of their evolving friendship. One key moment is when they throw their dolls into Don Aquila's basement. Elena, dressed in slightly darker tones than her usual light colors, hesitates but is drawn into Lila's bold act. Meanwhile, Lila in her darker, more defined clothing embodies fearlessness. The subtle darkening of Elena's wardrobe in this scene signals Lila's growing influence, encouraging Elena to step outside her comfort zone. Later, when they discuss their shared dream of writing a book, their wardrobes align. Both are dressed in matching brown tones, visually reinforcing their deeper connection and shared ambition. The darker colors reflect the seriousness of their aspirations, symbolizing a rare moment of unity despite their divergent paths. As Lila and Elena move into their teenage years, their wardrobes continue to reflect the personalities formed in their childhood, reinforcing their core traits and adding depth to their evolving journeys. Throughout her teenage years, Elena's wardrobe reflects her modesty, aspirations, and inner conflict. Her slightly ill-fitting clothes symbolize her discomfort with herself and her ongoing intellectual and emotional growth. This awkwardness mirrors her struggle with identity, particularly in comparison to Lila, while also highlighting her family's financial constraints. Her torn-down collars, a continuation from her childhood, represent her disciplined nature and connection to education. Her school uniform reinforces her image as a diligent student, emphasizing both her academic ambitions and the pressure she feels to succeed. In contrast, Lila's wardrobe reflects her strong-willed nature and the harsh realities of her life. Minimalist designs emphasize her independence and refusal to conform to traditional femininity, while also symbolizing the practical demands of her circumstances, starting work at a young age and the impossibility of continuing her education. Her simple outfits, often featuring clean lines and V-neck collars, highlight her confidence and determination. Lila's style challenges societal and romantic expectations, signaling her disinterest in traditional gender roles. Through her clothing, she expresses strength and autonomy, confronting both societal pressures and the constraints of her working-class background. Elena's school wardrobe mirrors her emotional journey, particularly in her relationship with Lila. When struggling with her studies, her heavy beige jacket reflects her anxiety and academic pressure. However, when she seeks Lila's help, blue begins to emerge under her coat, symbolizing renewed hope and determination. As Lila's influence grows, blue and green tones become more prominent in Elena's school uniform, reflecting her increasing confidence. This progression highlights how their friendship helps Elena overcome her challenges and evolve. As Lila and Elena enter their late teenage years, their lives take increasingly different paths. Lila faces the pressures of a marriage proposal from Stefano Carracci, balancing societal expectations with her independent spirit. Meanwhile, Elena experiences emotional growth during her vacation in Ischia, where her newfound confidence begins to take shape, though insecurities about her place in the world still linger. Elena's vacation in Ischia brings a subtle shift in her wardrobe, reflected in the relaxed, natural fit of her clothes. Her outfits, though still modest, now convey a sense of ease and quiet self-awareness. On the beach, her vibrant aqua blue swimsuit stands out, symbolizing her emotional growth and newfound openness during this transformative period. This wardrobe shift highlights her evolving sense of self, perfectly suited to this moment of personal change. Returning to school, Elena resumes her usual practical outfits, but her time away leaves a subtle mark, most notably in the addition of her beige coat. This piece offers a more mature and flattering look, reflecting the quiet influence of her vacation on her evolving wardrobe and personality. However, Elena's growing sense of self is tempered by insecurity when she starts wearing glasses. While the glasses symbolize her intellectual pursuits, they also underscore the tension between her academic ambitions and societal beauty standards, especially in contrast to Lila's increasingly glamorous appearance, as she steps into her role as Stefano's fiancée. This comparison amplifies Elena's internal struggle. At Lila's wedding, Elena's ill-fitting taupe dress, with its mature style contrasting her youthful features, alongside the other girls' bold, vibrant outfits, underscores their working-class roots. Despite their efforts to dress up for the occasion, the styles lack refinement, reflecting the social limitations they face. Beyond the dress, her unease stems from strained relationships with her boyfriend Antonio and her childhood crush Nino, as well as the news that her article wasn't published. Elena's discomfort mirrors her realization. At that moment I knew what the plebs were. The plebs were us. Their clothing becomes a subtle reminder of the boundaries they can't escape despite their aspirations. Lila's wardrobe during this time reflects her rising social status and her complex relationships with the local businessman Stefano Carracci and Marcello Solara, a persistent suitor from a wealthy family with ties to the local mafia. Her neutral tones suggest a grounded nature, but Marcello, usually dressed in bold colors, wears a light shirt during his rejection, mirroring Stefano's attire. This shared neutrality suggests that, despite their differences, both men are shaped by the same social pressures. As Stefano begins to resemble Marcello, it raises the question: is Lila truly making a better choice, or is it just another illusion of freedom? Lila's new wardrobe, inspired by Jackie Kennedy, reflects her elevated status after her engagement, marking a stark contrast to her previous life. However, her neutral tones around Stefano hint at emotional distance, suggesting muted emotions rather than deep connection or passion. In contrast, the burgundy sweater she wears while working with Elena reveals warmth and authenticity, underscoring the depth of their bond. As the season progresses, we see a shift in the dynamic between Lila and Elena. In the wedding dress selection scene, Lena's outfit is primarily blue, representing her calm and supportive nature, while the green accents symbolize her growing confidence. This blend of colors reflects her increasing self-assurance as she steps into a guided role, successfully persuading Lila to choose a dress that better aligns with her true self. This moment underscores Linu's evolving influence in their friendship. The ornate dress chosen by Stefano's family features intricate lace and structured detailing, representing wealth and status, but clashing with Lila's independent spirit. In contrast, the chosen dress, with its simple lines and sheer fabric, better reflects Lila's true self, symbolizing her desire for autonomy. This choice, supported by Linu, underscores Lila's resistance to external expectations in favor of authenticity and self-expression. In the first season of My Brilliant Friend, Lila and Elena's wardrobes serve as powerful symbols of their personal struggles and growth. Lila's transition from pragmatic clothing to more polished styles reflects her rising social status, yet her attire never fully conforms, mirroring her ongoing resistance to societal norms and her refusal to be molded into someone she is not. Meanwhile, Elena's modest and muted wardrobe mirrors her self-doubt and search for belonging, but subtle shifts, like her role in guiding Lila's wedding dress choice, signal her growing confidence and influence. Ultimately, the evolving wardrobes tells a story of two women navigating social constraints: Lila's battle between rebellion and conformity, and Elena's journey towards self-assurance, while highlighting how their friendship continues to shape and define their path.